Hello everyone! We are Team She, and in this video you will be listening Jatsiri, Mariel, and Laura, three young visual communication and design students from Universidad de Insurgentes Campus Xola, talking about a very interesting topic, Mexican pink.
The Mexican pink. Mexican pink is a bright, saturated purple-red color. It has been compared with the color of the bracts of the ornamental climbing plant called Bougainvillea, Trinitaria, or Santa Rita, and its original reference are the magenta coloration used in clothing and other objects of the traditional Mexican culture. The visual identity manual of the Mexican country brands identifies it with the pure magenta color of CMYK Quatromatic. The Mexican pink color is included in the iconolinguistic collection of current Mexican culture, although RAE Spanish language dictionary does not record it. In Mexico, it is considered an element of national identity and a symbol of the Mexican charism. The authorship of Mexican Pink is due to Ramon Valdesera, who created this concept unintentionally in 1949, with presenting in New York a parade where the bougainvillea color achieved thanks to the achiote Mexican pigment and cellulose predominated. When asked by the press about the origin of the color, Valdesera replied that it was an intense pink tone, better used in Mexican culture. Since the 1950s, the shade of pink we know as Mexican has been an important Mexican symbol because, along with other elements of your culture, it helped to create an identity of its own all the time. Even today, in your country, it is easy to find this tone everywhere, a species of intense magenta that floats the streets and objects of cities and towns from toys and accessories, from markets to houses, covered with bushes of pink flowers and some of your most precious architectural works. We find it present in wooden toys, woven baskets, tablecloths of chopped paper, sarapis, all types of textiles, amate paper, in the typical sweet as the sugar calabritas of bellodit, meringues, sugar cotton, and sweet bread. In the traditional costumes, in the quinceañeras and graduation dresses, in the houses decorated with bougainvillea, in the blankets of plastics from swat meets, even in the great architectural works of Ricardo Legorreta and Luis Barragán, as well as ornaments in dresses, logos of establishments, and time later, the first line of the Mexico City Metro, and the visual identity of the country brand Vive Mexico.
In 1946, Valdesera met Miguel Alemán, who sought to promote abroad the image of a modern Mexico that would attract foreign investment. The designer Ramon Valdesera decided to join and took the position of national diffusion by means of fashion. He began his research by traveling through various areas of the country, contacting different ethnic groups, paying special attention to their typical attire and clothing. Upon returning from his trip, the designer began adapting fabrics, colors, and styles to his clothing collection. With the support of brands, officials, and diplomats, Valdesera embarked on an international tour to bring his fashion to different parts of the United States and Europe. Thus, Ramon Valdesera used his garments to offer a glimpse into Mexico from the big international catwalks. Ramon Valdesera, the creator of the Mexican Pink, also wrote the book 3,000 Years of Mexican Fashion. Testimony of Ramon Valdesera. I want to travel all over Mexico, interested in researching Mexican clothing, and formed a large collection of costumes and dresses. My interest was to understand fashion as an integral discipline between art, anthropology, and history. My idea was to adapt the Mexican clothing of our ethnic groups such as huipiles, quechquemitl, and fabrics to contemporary fashion. When I returned to Mexico City, I set up a workshop where I spread out large rolls of cloth and painted them by hand with popular art and pre-Hispanic culture motifs. During a runway show in Cuernavaca in 1946, I met the, at the moment, presidential candidate Miguel Alemán, to whom I showed my creations and exposed my ideas about creating a Mexican fashion that reflected our identity. And so, during his government, supported me to travel around the world, displaying my collections and promoting the image of Mexico as a country entering modernity. In 1949, I presented a fashion show at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York, which amazed me a lot, where I presented the pink in my designs. Then, the journalists asked me about the origin of that color, to which I replied, "This color is part of the Mexican culture." Then, one of the journalists said, "So, it is the Mexican pink," naming it as we all know it now. Mexican pink, Rosa Mexicana.
In order to create a Mexican identity and its cultural expression, governments have been participating for decades in campaigns focused on the formation of a national identity. Miguel Alemán, for example, planned a program during his ruling to spread Mexican culture, and together with Ramón Valdeosera, they used fashion to promote tourism in our country. Receiving great support from the government, the Mexican pink became emblematic of Mexico and very popular abroad. At the same time, the doctrine of Mexicanism emerged, which gave rise to several projects to encourage nationals through culture. The year was 1951. When Alemán left the presidency, he out a personal project that had to do with promoting the country through tourism. Mexico was beginning to emerge off the international stage, and fashion designer Ramón Valdeosera joined the project with an interesting program to spread the country's culture and wealth through fashion. The visionary artist who, besides designing, painting, and drawing comics, dominated this discipline signs the disciplines the post-war period and as a fierce defender of Mexican fashion, could not miss the opportunity. The Mexican pink was also used by architect Luis Barragan, whose work is considered representative of contemporary Mexican architecture. Another Mexican architect who was characterized by using this color in his project was Ricardo Legorreta. On April 11, 2017, designer Ramón Valdeosera, who invented Mexican pink in an effort to boost national fashion, died at the age of 98. Currently, the popular Mexican pink design designation covers fuchsia, magenta, and similar colors, including the intense pink, used in traditional Mexican clothing and other textiles. The Mexican pink also appears in Mexico country brown in the logo that used to promote the country abroad, and also Mexico City tourism logo.